Do you think a CBDC is coming in the U.S.?
I don't think so, for a lot of reasons, not least of which, of course, is our societal tendency to like freedom, to like privacy. I think the air gap between the central bank, your wallet, and how you spend your money is a powerful feature in free societies. And I don't think the United States is ready for that operating model. We could barely pass stablecoin legislation in no small measure because of states' interest, and this boundary question around federal preemption is an important societal debate that we have. Even the Fed's own acknowledgement of any central bank experiment at the Fed would require congressional authorization before it is even launched. And so I don't think the U.S. would operate in that type of structure, but we should absolutely encourage public sector payments innovation as well.
The industry's ready to embrace responsible regulation. And so I think the timing, the confluence of events, both because the industry is matured and because the Congress is seeing it being more adopted and embraced by traditional finance, is going to create the enthusiasm and support to move forward.
If you can't have a company, and most people can't, and then what are your options for saving money? Well, you can invest in stocks, which tend to be overvalued and pushed in a certain way for some people to benefit, or God forbid, you could buy bonds, which would be the dumbest thing in the world. Don't do that. Or you can buy some assets like gold or Bitcoin. And I think that's the part where Bitcoin will shine. If you have an extra allocation for the hard assets and then take it in the form of Bitcoin, I think it's a very useful thing, yeah.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Support this great content by hitting the Cash App and by joining the Patreon.
And will the United States get a CBDC? Guys, we know the Fed has been working on a CBDC. Also running trials. We know the BIS the same way. So guys, it's not like I don't show you the proof. We know programmable money is definitely the future because they want total control. Telling you what, where, and when and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And we know crypto regulation is now around the corner. Remember I told you crypto regulation in 2024, and then they're going to bring in the fourth industrial revolution in 2025. We have the emerging markets flipping the switch next year, and they'll be in full gear over the next 5 years, while the U.S. sits behind on purpose. And we have the Mexican billionaire Ricardo Salinas playing the Hegelian dialectic. And guys, we know stocks are definitely not going anywhere. They'll be tokenized and put on blockchain. Will stocks take a big hit? Yes, because a lot of them are overpriced. But they're definitely not going anywhere. And we know a lot of these cryptos are going to be gone also. But we know the ones with utility are here to stay. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Congressman John Fetterman talking about Bitcoin. Doesn't understand it. And guys, we definitely know he's playing a Hegelian dialectic with the bank man outfit on. We are constantly seeing big banks, big corporations integrating these crypto projects. But we know the big banks and big corporations funded crypto from the beginning. And these big cloud companies basically run crypto. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, we had Biden back in December of last year bailed out the pensions with $36 billion. And guys, these pension plans are in trouble. Remember, the NWO calls the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. We know these 0% interest rates, these pensions are broke. And now that we have interest rates, we know these stocks are about to take a big hit. So that means pensions and 401K'S are going to get demolished. But we know universal basic income is right around the corner. That's the reason why it's being tested globally. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Should crypto exist? In other words, where should it exist? Why should it endure? If anyone has any answers.
Happy to assist. Actually, that's the exact question that I was asked by the Ministry of Finance in Israel a couple of years ago. And he asked me, you know what, let's just outlaw everything, this entire crypto. It's going to be used for bad purposes. And I told him, Mr. Minister, unfortunately, the technology is out there. So it's not a question whether you like it or not. You need to manage the risk and find the ways to actually supervise that and make sure that it will be compliant. So there are good uses of crypto, financial inclusion, and many others. At the same time, we have to be very strict to make sure that the legislative framework is addressing the concerns that we have. We have to make sure that all platforms are compliant, that we have very clear rules, that all countries are enforcing them in a similar manner, and that we are not letting other countries to get off the hook and actually encourage environment in which bad actors can work. We could create, together with the FATF, a gray list of those countries and make sure that they are publicly announced, and then we'll have better, in addition to other tools, we'll have better way to monitor what's going on there rather than just, assume that it doesn't happening.
Yeah, and so where does the value assigned to crypto come from? Where does it come from? Because it's really just a mathematical idea, kind of for me feels like it's a gimmick, but where does the value of that come from other than there's not somebody kind of less informed that I'll pay more than what you just, bought it for. So anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, I can answer again. I mean, there are some rationale, having a more decentralized economy and theories behind that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think that this discussion, even if it was relevant a couple of years ago, it doesn't matter anymore because the technology is there, and it's not something that is possible now, to decide. Enough people think that there is value and they're spending the money on it. And of course, illicit actors are using that as well, no doubt about it. So I think that the major challenge that we should focus our energy on is how to make sure that their options are being smaller and that we're closing the gaps as much as possible these days.
My question is like, if you are able to effectively track it or document it, would anybody really use it anymore? That's really, to me, that's what I'm really trying to get to it. And I'm not saying there's an answer. That's why I'm asking the experts. It's like, if you're able to effectively track it, would it really be attractive for anyone to traffic in that, especially because how volatile it is? And I really hope Hamas and everyone took a bath in crypto, with the rest of everyone else too. So they got a lot less guns for what they used to have, maybe.
So we're definitely hearing a lot of use cases in the market of people that are using that, in order to make sure that they are not attached to a certain currency, but have something that, is fixed to the dollars, that they want to put their funds in places or to transact with lower cost, to have more financial inclusion options. So there are some legitimate use cases for that. And the blockchain technology, generally speaking, has its advantages in the way that it's easier to transact around the globe.
Today, my administration is announcing that $36 billion of that money was going to prevent the drastic cuts to workers' hard-earned pension benefits, cuts that have been scheduled to occur within the next few years. It's not going to happen. The cuts are not going to occur. And here's what it means. For years and years, union workers have been driving trucks from factories to stores, bagging groceries, constructing the buildings and the bridges and the roads that we use every day, and so much more. I just want to pause for a second and say, imagine if you're not a union worker, you have a good job, you're retiring, about to retire, and you find out your pension plan is going to be cut 60%. Imagine what that does. Imagine what that does to you.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Dramateum save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Dramateum save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Dramateum goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.